Welcome back here to the SWAC Digital Network's coverage of the 2018 SWAC Football Media Day from the Birmingham Marriott. And I'm now joined by the great coach from Southern University, Dawson Odums. And Coach Odums, thank you so much for joining us.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Well, first of all, Coach, great news from this past spring is you guys had a chance to get back on the field during spring football. That's huge.
Well, it's great to be out there, give a chance to evaluate some young guys, some red-shirted guys, some newcomers, and give our team a chance to gel together. So we were excited to have it back. It's been a long process, but if you stick to the plan, you always got a chance to have some success.
You talk about sticking to the plan, and that's something that you've been preaching, not just football-wise, but you've been telling everybody in athletics, stick to the plan so we can have that success.
Well, exactly. I believe in ABCs. I think that's the approach to success, and what we try to do is put the plan together and implement that plan on a yearly basis. And, we tweak it some, we adapt it some, but for the most part, we stick to our core.
Let's talk about coaching staff this year, adding a new coach or two on the staff this year.
Yes, we added some new guys. I brought in a new linebacker coach, Pat Bastion, and we elevated two GAs. Running back GA got elevated, Ashton Warner, and also our defensive line GA got elevated, and Skylar Jones brought in an operations guy and Coach Tommy Wilson, and also elevated a graduate assistant, Malika Little, to travel coordinator. So as the program grows, so does the intangibles that play a major important part in the success of it grow as well.
When you look at the offensive side of the football, your quarterbacks have been really, really great. You had Austin there for a while. He's now gone. But you bring in some guys here at quarterback where there's going to be some great competition coming up in the fall.
Well, exactly, and I'm excited about the competition. I think competition brings out the best in those that are competitive. So we're excited about the individuals that we have competing for that position, and whoever the guy is deemed as the number one guy, he's going to get every opportunity to be the starter. We also may play two or three guys, so we don't know what the season has in store for us, but we know we got some talented guys back there, and we know we can do some things with each one of those guys. The difference is I think we have better runners that we've had in the past, and Dre was very good. Austin was very good. They were great for our program. They were freshmen. Austin was a freshman that took over after Dre left, and now the next guy got a chance. Some of these freshmen got a chance to learn under Austin. So it's about having a comfortableness with our program and being able to lead our program from that position. That's what we look for at quarterback.
Let's look at your skill positions a little bit, because you had some guys that have left the program, but you also have some guys that you had some depth last year where you had some guys coming back with some experience.
A lot of guys come back. A lot of players that play offensive, defensive, and special teams. We're very deep at the wide receiver position, the running back position, the tight end position. Dennis Craig is here with me today. He's an exceptional talent. I think he has a great opportunity to be great for us. You look at defensively, we're secondary. We signed a couple guys that also add to our depth. But our walk-on program has been huge. We think we're going to be able to pick up some guys from our walk-on program that's going to be able to help us and add to that depth. Defensive line, we're loaded on defensive line. We're about 6 deep at tackles, but I think we have some of the premier defensive ends in the country, and I really think it's going to be good to see those guys on the field. And that linebacker core is led by Calvin Lumpkins. He's a returning starter that's played. We had a guy that was ineligible last year that we're getting back, so we're deep at that position and signed a couple guys that's going to play there. So our secondary is as advertised. I think we got 2 of the better safeties in the country, and we also have one of the better corners in the country, and DeMario Houston, who's a senior that's played a lot of snaps for us. Also, you got Elijah Small, you got Arvin Huff, you got Papillon, you got a lot of these guys, Elijah Allen. All these guys have played a lot of snaps for us, so
yes,
it's a lot of guys. So we're excited about the depth of our football team.
Coach, when you look at student athletes, of course, talent has to be there in order to play on your team. But when you talk to student athletes, what do you tell them that they have to do in order to play for Coach Odums? Not just the X's and O's, but what do you look for when you look for a student athlete?
Well, the biggest thing is when we're looking at the academic side, I look at English. I think English is the one class that tells me a lot about a student. And it's hard to be a Jaguar and play for Southern University under the direction of Coach Odums if you don't take English real serious. I think a CD student in English is a mediocre student. It's usually a sign of a lazy student, and we know in college that's somebody we're going to have to follow around. Show me a guy that's making A's in English, then I know that I got an individual that's taking school serious. And when you put that talent with those grades, you get a chance to have a product for success. That's how we've overcome APR. We haven't changed what we recruit. We focus on our needs. We find the best players that fit the program that we're running. Maybe not the best players that are out there, but they're the best players for our program, and we recruit a certain type of guy, which is why we're able to be competitive year in and year out.
I had a cousin that played for you, and one of the things that he spoke about was the fact that, you know, it's not just about what I do, but he looks at the way we speak and the way we act as well.
Well, exactly, and I think if you observe the two guys that we have here, it's you know, I didn't have to tell them what time curfew was last night. I didn't have to tell them don't wander around the hotel. It's an expectation of how we do things, and those guys know. And if I would have brought freshmen in here, they would just know that this is how we operate, this is how we carry ourselves, because we know that our name get longer as we take certain steps in our life. When you chose to join Southern University, that added Southern University to your last name. So we know that we're not only representing ourselves, we're representing our families, we're representing our high schools, we're representing Southern University. Therefore, that comes with a great expectation. And
one other thing I wanted to ask you about is that you guys get a chance, and this is going into the future, but Florida A&M comes back on the schedule for the next 2 years after this year, and that has to be a great addition to the schedule.
Well, we used to play them in Atlanta. We had a great rivalry with them. It's always great to have those rivalry games. That is a big rivalry for us, and we got a home-and-home schedule contest with them. I think we're going to them first, then they're coming to us. But we're always excited. Me and Coach Simmons, we good friends. We talking all season. We even call each other during the season. You know, we bounce ideas off each other. So it's going to be great. You know, I know they got a great fan base, but we think we have the best fan base. So it's always been an exciting football game.
Coach Dawson Odums from Southern University, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Always a pleasure.
All right. We're going to go over to Gotti Wormer right now. She has the players from Southern University. Gotti, take it away.
With senior defensive back Demario Houston, as well as redshirt tight end Dennis Craig, excuse me. So you guys, let's jump right into it. This is the first time in 4 years that you've had spring football. How does it feel to have spring football going into the season?
I feel like it was great for us to have it. We got to evaluate some of the new guys that came in, also the guys that are returning, and I feel like it would give us a big boost going into the summer and into the fall camp.
And for you?
Since this been the first spring football since we've been here, I feel like it gave us more time to camaraderie and bond as a team, and just being able to practice in pads in the off season. That's a big plus side for us, you know, going through the playbook and stuff like that for the younger guys, and it's going to help. And as we transition to camp, as the learning curve will be a little bit faster as we go into camp.
So you guys mentioned fall camp. How do you think it'll help you give an advantage in fall camp?
Well, I feel like with the spring, we're pretty much preparing for the fall, and with the fall coming, we'll be already ahead of schedule. So I feel like with the spring, it really prepared us for the fall.
Yeah, this spring football is going to give us.
Oh, that's amazing. And what about you, Dennis?
Yeah, my major is mechanical engineering. If after football season and football is done, if any opportunity presents itself, I'm gonna run with it. But if that doesn't, I plan on going into the automotive field in the engineering industry.
You sound like me. All right. So, final question. I really want to know who inspires you guys, whether it's an athlete, family member. Who inspires you?
My dad, he inspires me. He's grown me into the man I am today. Football-wise, I would say my uncles. You know, I watched them grow up, and I've heard much about them being great athletes. So they inspire me to be like the best athlete I can be. So
that's amazing. And Dennis, for you?
I have to say my father. He inspires me a lot. You know, him playing football in college and at the same collegiate school I'm playing at, Southern University. I feel like he inspires me a lot. He laid down the foundation for me in the football.
Wow, so your father has also played at Southern?
Yeah, he played at Southern. He played offensive center at Southern for his years at Southern University.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us for SWAC Media Day, and good luck this season. Thank you. Santoria, back to you.